run barefoot the first time, you feel like a kid again because you're really transported back in time to when the last time that you were running like a child. In fact, if you get a chance, watch a child run barefoot. You're going whee, flying across the grass, usually with somebody behind them going, put on your shoes. This is the last time that they ever run that way. And when we go fully barefoot, we feel like that child again. But something else is going on too. It's almost as if we're draining away pressure, we're draining away stress. Something chemically feels different. Now there's a universal feeling at the end of the day of wanting to walk barefoot through the grass, or go out and get our feet wet and walk barefoot in the sand right at the water's edge. And that has to do with what's going on electrically between our bodies and the ground. You see, we don't really think about it much, but the planet is basically a giant car battery with 5,000 lightning strikes going on each second somewhere on the planet. This planet is electrically charged. And we're charged also. There's a whole science of bioelectrical medicine. It's why there are EKGs, it's why there are MRIs, it's why there are brain scans, it's why there are pacemakers. Because we're an electrical organism. In fact, if we weren't electrical, none of our neurons would fire. We wouldn't be able to think, move, breathe, or exist. Now the challenge with that is, no point in our history have we been this disconnected from the electrical ground beneath us. We now wear insulated rubber shoes that prevents electroconductivity back and forth. We drive around in insulated, protected cars, basically in a metal box with nice rubber tires. We're in ground that's insulated, we're in buildings that are insulated off of the ground, and we're in many ways, though we're very close to the ground, we're completely disconnected from it. The challenge with it is we don't get to drain the electrical charge that we gain. The human body is pretty amazing. At a 5'10" body, you carry 320 volts with you. It's the electrical potential between the difference between your head and your feet. You keep going up and you can understand that potential, why there are lightning strikes going on around the world at every second. Now that electrical potential, you know, in the wintertime, shuffle around, go up to somebody, hey, hey, zap. Zap. You think it's pretty harmless. Well, if we think about it in the electronics industry, that's actually billions of dollars worth of damage that are done to electronics and to chips every year. And in NASA, something they have to be super careful about, because one static electric charge, you could wipe out a whole circuit board, and forget about if you're moving gunpowder or explosives. For hundreds of years, they've had to be careful about that. They figured out if they didn't keep their people grounded and somebody picks up one of those kegs of gunpowder, the spark goes off, sort of like at a gas station, that would be a very bad thing. So we carry a charge with us, and that charge has a challenge to it. The charge that occurs in our body is actually generated in many ways. It's not only generated by EMF, by cell phones, by radio waves, by all of these different things, and by the electrical wires behind your head when you sleep at night, but it's also generated within our body in the form of free radicals. Free radicals are little beasties that we create that carry a positive charge. They come out through the mitochondria, and they do the job of seeking out and finding what's weak, basically what's got the opposing charge that they can grab onto and destroy. And it's a good thing. That's how our immune system works. But I liken our immune system to filling up the bathtub to go take a bath and clean off the dirt. You turn on the water in the bathtub, close it, start filling up the tub to clean off the dirt. That's a good thing. But if you then forget to shut off the tub and forget to drain it, then the water overflows and it starts affecting the bathroom and then affecting everywhere else. And if you don't catch that at a time, your walls or your floors can fall through and you can create rot throughout your house. Well, if we can't drain the free radicals, which are the positively charged particles in our bodies, we can't drain them out through the floor, then we have a problem too. And the great thing is, we've got a negatively charged ground, we've got positively charged free radicals. If we go and just stand on the barefoot, stare on the ground barefoot, we drain that charge. And that is one of the reasons it feels so good. And it feels like, that of all the pressure and stress and everything is just draining away is literally stuff draining away. We just got so disconnected from understanding that we evolved on an electrical planet that something real is going on here. We go, oh, that's hocus pocus stuff. No, it's actually draining away. You reduce your cortisol levels. Their studies have shown reduced cortisol levels, reduced blood pressure, reduced thinning of the blood, so less cardiovascular problems, better breathing, reduced tension, better sleeping, and so much more. And the way that the Earth works is it vibrates more on one side at one point. If you think of it as a giant vibrating electrical signal, it's vibrating more on one side where it's getting all the lightning during the daytime. It's vibrating less on the other side, and that's constantly changing. And what that is a rhythm, a 24-hour rhythm or pattern of the planet. Just as we have our circadian rhythm, that's the rhythm of the planet as well. So for instance, if you get jet lag, you get off of the plane someplace, you're feeling jet lag, go barefoot. Sit on the ground or go barefoot for about 15 to 20 minutes, and suddenly you feel so much better because now you're back to vibrating at the frequency of what's beneath you rather than someplace 5, 6, 8, 12 hours away. And if you do that once or twice a day, people who have trouble sleeping sleep so much better when they're not insulated, because during the day you get wound up and wound up and wound up. We know that term? Well, that's actually us vibrating faster and faster and faster. We're carrying this charge, we're vibrating faster. As soon as we sink, we drain that charge and we go back to vibrating at the frequency of the Earth. It's as if we're plugged into a program that's telling you, okay, now's the time to sleep and later is the time to wake. So with that said, I want to jump into recovery right here.